So Dogecoin and the overall crypto market are not looking good at the moment, at least in terms of technical indicators. On the other hand, when we consider recent trends in mass adoption and other updates, we see that things are actually quite good. So let's talk about it and see what exactly is happening. So we are now seeing that the overall crypto market went to a free fall during the last 24 hours, and crypto prices have been plummeting during this time. And I know we have been seeing this downtrend for cryptos for many days now, and considering the current situation, I think that this sluggish movement for cryptos is going to continue for some days. Moreover, we can see here that fear among investors is increasing with every single passing day, and investors are still sitting on the sidelines. We can see here that the crypto fear and greed index has fallen to the 20 level, so this is just a clear indication that the overall crypto market is under immense pressure. Meanwhile, the move by Russian President Vladimir Putin to recognize 2 breakaway regions of Ukraine and subsequent movement of armed personnel and weapons in those areas threw the world's markets into a state of panic. And we can see here that the Dow Jones Industrial Average Futures is down 0.7%. S&P 500 and Nasdaq futures are also down 0.7% and 1.2%, respectively. And now, if we talk about cryptos, their prices have gone into free fall after Russia escalated the crisis in Ukraine and deployed Russian troops to eastern regions of the country. The latest crypto price crash, coming on the heels of a slump in crypto and equity prices across the board, has wiped an eye-watering $400 billion from the combined $1.6 trillion crypto market over the last week. And while a massive correction has taken place in the overall crypto market, major altcoins have been facing a massive price fall. Prices of major altcoins like Matic, Phantom, and Avalanche have been slammed into a wall during the last 24 hours. Similarly, Dogecoin and Shiba Inu have also been facing immense market pressure, and they have faced massive losses during the same time. It appears that they are finding it really hard to sustain this pressure, and they are not finding any pace to sustain their support levels. And now, I'll come to price analysis and important updates for Doge and SHIB, but let's first see this important news. So we are now seeing that Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin is saying that the overall crypto market is now entering another crypto winter. So we know that the last time we saw a crypto winter, there were significant losses everywhere, and we saw massive crypto sell-offs. However, the good thing is that Buterin believes that the crypto market seems to have changed from a small, specialist industry controlled by a few people to something that looks like a more popular financial sector. He also said that winters allow teams to concentrate on developing and screening out the bad initiatives, and markets need to adjust. And another important thing Buterin highlighted is that true believers and devoted engineers who are building things would surprisingly be open to another bear market. This is because he believes that people that remain in the industry after a bloodbath are diehard enthusiasts and innovators, not flaky wild speculators. So the point is that Buterin has wisely pointed out that low prices will help those building on crypto to turn their full attention to improving the infrastructure and technology that can encourage greater adoption. A prolonged bear market is obviously frustrating for crypto investors, but to survive, they need to stay the course by adopting a long-term mentality instead of a short-term mindset. And with that being said, let's come to Dogecoin's current price movements. So we can see here that it has been trading below its moving averages, signaling a bearish sentiment. It appears that its price could be at risk of further decline as it is now nearing the lower boundary of the governing technical pattern and selling pressure is continuing to increase. So as per technical indicators, if Dogecoin's price slices below the lower boundary of the prevailing chart pattern at 12 cents, the bearish target toward 10 cents would be put on the radar. However, if the bulls decide to step in, its price can retest the immediate resistance at the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level at 14 cents. So while everything is looking totally bearish for Doge, there are still some signs of a relief rally, and I still think that Dogecoin is going to avoid a bear trap, and it can show some strength from here. One of the reasons why I'm still positive about Doge is that whales appear to be neglecting the current price movements, and they are buying the dips. So as per data from Whale Stats, over the past 48 hours, Doge has swapped places with Ethereum and took the privileged position of the most traded crypto by the biggest 1,000 investors in Binance Smart Chain-based tokens. As a result, Dogecoin has now become the second top coin bet on by whales for trading after Ethereum, and these largest investors are now holding almost 325 million Dogecoins. So this means that these big whales are not worried about the plummeting price of Doge, and they are bullish on it in the long term. And I think that this bullishness of whales can really help Doge to sustain the sell-off pressure in the coming days. And with that being said, let's come to Bitcoin for a minute. So we know that things have gone really bad for Bitcoin in recent days, and these geopolitical issues and other economic concerns have affected the price of Bitcoin in the last 24 hours as well. And we can see that Bitcoin is now trading below its crucial moving averages, and this means that the overall sentiment is currently bearish for it. And it appears that things are going to get worse for Bitcoin, as Glassnode has depicted a bearish scenario for Bitcoin and suggested that increased selling pressure is imminent. So we are now seeing that Bitcoin on-chain analysis is showing us that more short-term holders are now registering losses, and they are statistically more likely to sell from here. The number of active addresses or entities is currently at the lower bound of the bear market channel, which depicts on-chain activity during periods of sideways, and it is suggesting a decrease in demand and interest for Bitcoin. So this means that there is a lack of on-chain activity for Bitcoin, and it is one of the distinct signals of a bearish Bitcoin market. Meanwhile, famous author Nassim Taleb has recently taken to Twitter to take a jab at Bitcoin once again, claiming that Bitcoin cannot serve as a hedge against inflation, stocks, or anything. He also described Bitcoin as a perfect sucker game during low interest rate periods, and he revealed that he had started selling his Bitcoin due to Bitcoin's rising volatility, and he believes that Bitcoin wasn't capable of becoming a viable means of payment. So while Bitcoin is already facing a downtrend, such remarks can cause more panic among investors and create more sell-off in the market. However, now I'm going to show you some very important data which is showing us that this is not the end for Bitcoin and things are going to get better pretty soon. For example, we are now seeing that crypto analyst Plan B has shared a bullish outlook on the Bitcoin market. He made this known in a recent tweet, saying that Bitcoin's 200-week moving average is still increasing, and he said that market participants should ignore price volatility and focus on the trend. We can see on this chart that the 200-week moving average has been increasing steadily. Currently sitting at just under 20K historically, the price of Bitcoin has spent very little time below it and is useful for making price forecasts for Bitcoin. So the point is that this indicator is bullish for long-term investment in Bitcoin, and it also marks that Bitcoin is currently presenting a good buying opportunity. Besides this, we are now seeing that the daily RSI value of Bitcoin is giving glad tidings to holders in a rather uncertain market. So the current daily RSI value is around the value of 37, and while this could be objectively interpreted as being around the neutral zone, it indicates a patent recovery. So this means that this recovery would potentially guide Bitcoin to a higher price level once again, and this is why I'm saying that Bitcoin is not going to zero and things are going to get better for it. And now, let's come to Ethereum for a minute. So we are now seeing that ETH is facing one of the toughest times that it has faced. It has faced yet another price dip in the last 24 hours, and it is struggling to hold its support. From its moving averages to its MACD level, everything is sitting in the bearish territory right now. So this means that ETH may face another price dip if bulls are unable to get control from here. And now coming back to Dogecoin, there is a very important update for it amid this market-wide downtrend. So a Dogecoin-themed restaurant, Doge Burger, has been recently opened in Dubai, and the best thing is that this restaurant is now accepting payments in Dogecoin along with Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, XRP, and other coins. So this is a positive update for Doge and its holders, since it is now clear that despite its recent price falls, more and more firms are still adopting it. And this is exactly why I think that this rising adoption of Doge is going to help it recover its losses and move back to the upside pretty soon. In any case, what are your thoughts on this? When do you think Dogecoin is going to move up from here? Let me know in the comments section below.